Okay, here we are. Yep, there's a fresh stream, and I shut down the streaming software that was causing my computer to chug so hard, and hopefully we can have a low latency conversation. As I'm saying, I really wish I could like share my screen and do cool stuff, pull up some charts, that sort of stuff. Um, but it doesn't seem to be possible. I'm sitting right next to our router, and I don't know. My computer is a bit old, but it's pretty fast. It's a quad core 2.7 gig i7 MacBook. Tech Talk. Quad core. 2.5 gig quad core, 16 gigs RAM. It's 2014 now. About time for a new laptop. Or I think I would probably opt for like a Mac Mini, something powerful and compact. Etc. I've been getting back into coding. That's where my head's at right now, because I'm working on this project for the Darrow blockchain. So I'm learning Golang, which is fun and also challenging. Like you watch the video, like tutorials on YouTube, and it's like, oh yeah, it's that easy. Just do it, plug in this, and then that, and then this, and there's your website, and it does all the cool stuff. And then I sit down to code myself, and I'm like, variable string equals error. Error. Nothing works the way it's supposed to, or that I want it to. But you just got to stare at code long enough and bang your head against the screen long enough. That's the secret. So, anyway, it's Sunday. It's hangout time. I'm here to be hung with. You know, there may come a time where I go traveling again, and I'm off in the wilderness, and you don't have access to me. So I like having access to me. I think it's cool. We can all hang out. I hope some of my homies show up. I miss my homies from my European travels. I did this couple fair amount. We did some streaming and some like stuff, and now that I'm back across the pond, like maybe the best way for us to connect and hang out, I would have to maybe I can reach out to some people to come hang out on Sunday, just chill in the chat or whatever. Um, Most of my the only way I keep in touch with most of my like European friends is like through Facebook and whatnot. And I kind of just Facebook just feels so yuck to me. I don't even like going there. I don't want to be there. It's just a yucky place. It's not for me. But a lot of my friends that I don't have another way of contacting them are there, so I still have a Facebook for that reason. And I love my European traveling rainbow family friends. Um, it was just such a magical adventure there. It was like the time of my life. Like, you have some peak experiences on your journey, and then I don't know, man. Like, I would like to go skydiving, and I would like to see the aurora borealis. Those are the two things on my bucket list. Other than that, I'm like, I've had a wonderful life, you know. Um, and mostly just like travel. I've just gotten to go places and meet cool people, and I've been fortunate to see really, really good music, like world class music. Here in Colorado, we get a lot of really high quality artists come through. I've seen really good shows at Red Rocks, stuff like that. Um, and it's really weird, like lately, especially in wintertime, like I'm thinking there's a party coming up here in February up in Denver that seems like fun. So I'm thinking about going to a party. But like weekend comes around, I'm just like, I have no interest in going out at all. No. I have interest in getting up before the sun and going to the gym and being my best self. I'm kicking butt and kicking that bag. I've been hitting the punching bag and working with the speed bag. It's kind of fun. Um, getting some boxing skills, some self defense skills, and stuff like that. And it's never really been important to me. These people that have done these things that someone needs to hold them to justice. These people must be held accountable, and we as the state's assembly are charged to do it. We as lawful Americans and natural living men and women are charged to do it. And God darn it, if nobody else is going to do it, I'm gonna fucking kick their ass myself. Bring justice to the world, my darn self. You know. I hope that other people want to do it, and I hope that we can do it together. And it's not about kicking ass, other than in the euphemistic sense. It is about justice. It is about justice. You know, 1 in 40,000. These are the statistics from the DoD. 1 in 40,000, 7 years. So anyway, I believe in the power of prayer. Chlorine dioxide has already been posited as having potential therapeutic usage. I worked in water quality for several years, and I believe that water is magical, and that high purity water can heal all infirmities, and that no disease can live in an alkaline body, and these sort of things. So I do think there's healing for the people who've taken this thing, especially if they've taken it 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times, which some people in my family, my biofam, have taken it many times. I'm surprised that they're still alive, honestly. Mm. Power of prayer again. I pray for my people every day, you know. And if you're hearing this message, you my people. Like if you found your way to this, you you in a not very well traveled corner of the internet, even corner of YouTube. Like I am not optimized for the algorithm, whatever. Um, Fuck it. Like I just want to live my life and put a smile on my face that can put a smile on your face, sort of vibe. We've got this. We got it 100%. Um, you know, I'll go to war for you. I'll go to bat for you, with you. Um, there's nothing else to do other than to be good and do your best and to love good. God is good. Um, the f- the basic goodness that we feel when we talk about good in the world, doing good, being good, feeling good, that's God. When you feel good, you are feeling God. Hmm. When you laugh, there's no, you know, laughter is the best medicine. When you laugh and you smile, you have a direct connection to the divine. There's, laughter and smiling is one of the most best forms of prayer. You know, we are meant to enjoy life. We are meant to have smiles on our faces. Even in the darkest of times. And we're coming through this. We got it. You know, I would like a little more clarity. I would like it to be right now, today. This is why I've drawn such a firm line in the sand. Just not one moment more, not one day more. These crimes, and especially related to missing children and you know uh, foreign foreign aid, militarism, so-called philanthropic things. Did you see that Madonna was accused of trafficking this week for her quote unquote humanitarian work in Malawi? Huh? um like who other than humanitarian organizations are better positioned to traffic? um you know you want to go down the rabbit hole of the UN and UNICEF and stuff like that. And I've listened to a good amount of firsthand testimony of people saying that they've been victimized by those organizations, and that it's been covered up, and that it is not just the way my dad would say, well, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. um like it's just rogue people just deciding to commit evil. Well, it could not occur on the global scale, uh, and the institutional and the with the organization that it has, without institutional aid and support. And this is particularly true on the southern border, where we know a very large amount of human um, traffic jams happen, sort of thing. And the cartel stuff on the southern border, that these organizations are financed. and you know, who's financing them. There should be a paper trail, you know. Federal Reserve, fiat monetary system, central banks, intelligence communities, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. So we have to have courage, and we have to call it out, and we have to be strong. And I don't know. It's a, there is it a rabbit hole or is it a snake burrow? you know, or both. We go down some of these rabbit holes, and it's like, oh man, yikes. Um, and at the end of the day, the only thing that we can hang our hat on is that if there is evil of that magnitude in this world, then there is good of an equal and balancing magnitude. And that Jah, Great Spirit, the Most High, that these things exist for a reason, and that, the glory and the redemption will match the suffering and the hurt. So um I don't know, I've been kind of in my feels a little bit today. um it's just, no matter how hard we try, it's just like there's more work to do. I've been working really hard to be my best self. I've been every darn day, up and at it before the sun, to the gym, working hard, not just at the gym, but actually pushing myself hard, and challenging myself to push myself harder, eat a little bit harder each day. And what's the end of that? We're going to do that every single day for the rest of my life. I guess so. What else is there to do? This is the blueprint for being your best self. It requires physical fitness. It requires to be ready. It, these sort of things. It's hard. It's really hard. Um, you know, but one of the skills I developed when I was traveling in Europe was this ability to generate a good vibe. I was hitchhiking with a buddy of mine, and this was, just a magical period. We went in probably about a week. uh, Probably about a week. We did about 2,000 miles hitchhiking. We went from Barcelona to southeast Poland for the European Rainbow Gathering in 2018. Um, and It was fantastic. It was magical the whole darn way. I had recycled a magical carpet from in Portugal, and so it was a literal magic carpet ride. We every stop we'd be sitting on the side of the road hitchhiking and whatnot, and I would lay out the little carpet, and we would have something to sit on. We would sit there and play the guitar and juggle and do our little hippie tricks until we got picked up. And so my buddy and I, like before we got started on it, we would I sat down with him, and he knew the vibe. He's has mystical uh learnings, and I was like, "Yo, we got a long way to go and not that long to get there, so we're gonna need some help, right? And in order for this to go well, we're gonna have to carry a good vibe." So, and he knew, and so I sat with him, and he sat with me, and we said a little prayer, offered something to the universe, whatever. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I said, "All right, on the count of three, make a good vibe." And we go, one, two, three. Mm. Roar. And that's become one of my most valuable skill sets in life. Is no matter what the outer situation looks like, get the vibe going in the right direction, and you'll find a way. I One of my big manifestation teachings was a seminar on manifestation, uh, given by Kevin Trudeau. Your wish is your command, sort of thing. If you can see it, you can be it. If you can dream it, you can have it, sort of thing. And what he would say is that when something bad happens, pop the champagne, because the fastest way to get from a bad situation to a good situation is to increase the vibe, right? And so that's what I'm doing here. I mean, mostly I'm just talking to myself. This is a little bit of a video journal sort of vibe. But but that's what I'm doing here. This is a safe space. Like, so if you come across my channel at any time in the future, whatever, and you're hearing these words now, it is what it is. This is a safe space. This is a space for creating the vibe and feeling welcome and loved and the whole darn thing. We love you. It's all good. Come as you are. You know, um, I'm, you know, most weeks so far, like more often than not, I'm not super stoked to jump on, and I'm doing it out of more of a sense of service and because I say I will. Um, and that's if there were more people here and there was some interaction last week, I really enjoyed that because I got to answer some questions and connect with some people. Um, but that's what this is for. This is for people to have a space to step away from whatever is stressing them, whatever's bugging them, and to kick it with your boy, you know, and to catch a good vibe, you know. We got this. We got it. We really, really got it. Great spirit is in full control. Full power surrender is the only option. I'm in my feels a little bit today, but it's okay. You know, um, life of service is a good life. You know, like I said, I've had a wonderful life. I've achieved a lot of things, and like I don't know, like, there's some amount of life where you gotta go get yours. You gotta have your experience of life. You gotta go see the Grand Canyon and you gotta go stand on top of that mountain, whichever one it is, or do those things. We have a calling in this life. Our spirit's incarnated here for a reason. And if that means kissing under the Eiffel Tower, doing some tourist shit, if that's what your spirit is called for, then you must do it. Go do it, you know? Or if you're called to go do sincere humanitarian work in Africa or something, um, go do it. Or, one thing that I would like to do one day is to do a football soccer tour in Brazil and just travel Brazil with a guitar and a soccer ball and just go village to village and just play soccer with the youngsters sort of vibe. Um, Whatever it is that's in your heart, you have to do it. But then at the same time, like once you start checking these things off your bucket list, like you start to change your perspective on the world and you say, hey, you know what? I've already been to ABC. I don't need to go to D necessarily. Rather than go to D, I'm going to help someone who's never been to A or B get started on their journey. And so for me, like I'm at this point, where I had some like spiritual transcendent experiences that are just like there's no words, it's just blast. And so now it's more meaningful for me to help other people to come to that understanding than to seek it myself. Like um I don't know, I haven't had a psychedelic experience in quite some time, and I love psychedelics, like sort of vibe, like like I've I got the message. I had a buddy when I was traveling one time. I took a strong trip, and when I came out of it, he was like, "Psychedelics are like when you get the message, hang up the phone," sort of vibe. And whatever. He was being a little bit paternalistic in that moment, at least I received it that way. So I continued to have my psychedelic adventures as I traveled, but I have come to a point where it's like, you know, if it feels right, it is right. Is how I play it most of the time. Um, but unless it's like a real meaningful special occasion or whatnot, I'm good. Maybe I'll trip a couple times a year. Last year or so, I've been like once a season. I want one good social gathering party per season, and I prefer the word celebrate to party at this point. Um, I see like party people get their subconscious motor running when they say the word party, and the story kind of writes itself. When people start saying the word party, they start thinking about drinking, and then they start engaging in negotiating with their lower self, and then their lesser version of themselves manifests into reality. And You know, I am ready, and really, it means a lot to me at this point to be my darn best self. I accepted a lot of excuses for a long time. And, I made some mistakes. And, if I could do it again, I would have come out of college at 23, 24 and said, fuck yeah, let's have a family. you know, um, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I still don't know what I want to do. And I didn't believe that this world is a suitable place to bring new life into. And I do now because I've come to believe in Great Spirit. But as far as the exoteric world, holy goodness, it is rough. It is a rough environment for children to grow up in. I've said this before. No child of mine will ever attend a public school. Fuck that. Absolutely no. Definitely no. Um, no child of mine will ever receive treatment from a licensed doctor or medical professional. A license is to do that which is otherwise illegal. Same thing with the driver's licenses. You can read more about this on the State's Assembly website. Um, you do not, Americans do not require a license to heal. To be a healer, you don't need a license. You need a license to vend, to participate in commercial interactions regarding FDA approved and regulated pharmaceutical inventions. Okay? That's what you need a license for. That which is otherwise illegal is what a license is required for. Healing, you have to feel it to heal it. I get some amount of satisfaction from the fact that, um, I have a number of licensed medical professionals in my family, and yet I can see and I know from talking to them that they do not possess one iota of the understanding of the healing arts that I have cultivated. Um, because if they did, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. You know, it sucks, man. I've encouraged my mother. I'm like, yo, go into private practice, be a naturopath, be a healer. Forget this licensed medical, establishment commercial nonsense. You have so many good qualities, and I love you so much. Aw. And you're so capable, and people are so lucky to be treated by you. But for you to take those good qualities and to channel them into these corporate, corporate channels that are not aligned with the greatest good and have never really been aligned with the greatest good in our lifetimes, it's time to cut bait. That's where we're at. And if you see this, I love you very, very much. That's my point. That's where I stand with it. So whatever, do what you want to do. My respect for you is on the line. Um, I really want to. I honor you for bringing me into the world. Honor my mother and father. Absolutely, yes. Thank you. Thank you for raising me the way you did. Thank you for giving me the love that you did. Um, yep, this is what it is. So anyway, like we can love people without loving all of their actions. We can love people without even understanding people necessarily. I've had to let a lot of people in my life go because they couldn't respect the boundaries that I laid out. you know I've had people, to be my friend, you got to be there for me when I need you. And in exchange, it's very important for me to be there for my friends when they need me. you know so friendship is a lost art. So a little bit somber this week on the webcast, and just talking to myself, sort of. I'm definitely video journal sort of vibe. But um, really nice release of the Tarot Illuma NFT collection over on Darrow. Maybe we'll switch and talk a little bit of crypto or whatever. I was thinking to switch and talk a bit more mysticism. Um, yeah, beautiful, beautiful tarot cards. If we ever get any interest, I can do a deep dive on tarot. I can do a deep dive on Kabbalistic symbolism. I say this every time I bring up Kabbalah. Kabbalah is esoteric, mystical, Gnostic, proto-Judaism, basically. It's basically the early Jews that realized the institutions have no place in spirituality, and they said we're going to figure it out ourselves. And so they started to understand the patterns of energy and the emanations of energy, and started to describe them scientifically and create a system for this. And the system is echoed in basically the spiritual understandings all around the world. Now, we have these crypto Hebrews or whatever, crypto Jew, that that are notoriously Ahrimanic, satanic, whatever, and have been using it for nothing but bad. So it's gotten a bad rap. But this is spiritual technology, and technology is neither positive nor negative. It's all in how you apply it. Technology is inherently neutral on its own. So it's brought me a lot of understanding. I've had personal experiences with some of the high arcana cards and some of these emanations of energy that helped me to understand what it's all about. And just help you to gain a little bit more nuance on the things that we experience. Hey, wait a minute. Uh-oh. As I'm looking at my volume bar on this stream, I'm seeing it not light up, and I'm wondering if we're getting any volume here. Whew. Okay. Let me see if I can edit it on the fly. Let me see if I can turn up my volume. If I had anybody in my darn room, I could get some feedback on this. Okay, it's showing me no audio. I'm gonna end the stream and fire it up again.